Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a album review that I have the pleasure of doing for a album now that's about a month old, well, maybe 3 weeks or so. And it's the album called where's the camera? There it is. My Beautiful Distance by The Numbers. Now the Numbers are Larry and Terry Tutor out of Texas. Fantastic record. This is the second album that they've had in about a year. But there was a long break between that album and some earlier ones. Like a lot of bands, there was, a brief period of music and then a hiatus. But we're happy that they're back. I was unfamiliar with The Numbers for a while, but my buddy Matthew Street from the Matthew Street channel did a review of this record, and I reached out to him and I said, "This is great. Can you tell me anything else?" And he said, "How about you talk to the guys themselves, to Larry and Terry?" And I reached out to him and said, I saw Matt's video. I'm a friend of Matt. I'm interested in the new album. And so they actually sent me this CD, which is great. Thank you guys so much for this. Sorry, I'm a little late getting to it, but I wanted to spend some time with it to give it an honest review. And I'm happy to do it. So there's the cover. Again, My Beautiful Distance. You can purchase it now on, Cool Cat Music, and that's Cool Cat with a K, and then music with a K as well. So very cool. The numbers are rounded out by Greg Kruger, who's playing additional guitar parts and singing harmonies, as well as doing bass. And then you have Voice McGinley on drums and percussion. So again, fantastic record. If you like jangle pop and power pop and 12-string guitars, if you like nods to the Byrds and the Monkees, that kind of sound, you will dig this album. The guys are really cool with how they present their songs, of how the hooks come into play. What's interesting about this album, and what you don't see a lot in power pop, is these songs are not 2.5 minute songs. I mean, you've got straight ahead pop on here. The opening track, like Being Alone, I Remember Everything, in terms of, a more traditional single length of a song. But a lot of these songs are 4.5 minutes long. So you get that, power pop goodness for twice the length of time as a normal single, which I think is, really cool. What I did is, I'm not going to go track by track here, because a lot of times people find that, repetitive, and I don't want to do that. So I have 3 songs from each side. So what's cool is the CD is set up like a vinyl record. They're the brothers at the top, and then the other guys. But it's got side A and side B listed as like track 1 through 6 on both sides. So from side A, I jumped down to track number 4, which is called Love and Doubt. That's a fantastic song. It's probably my favorite on the album itself. It's the most jangly. It's the most, to me, reminiscent of the 60s, even though it's all over the album. Track number 5 on side A, called Giving Up the Ghost, to me has a very 90s kind of more jangle sound, the way that you would get from like the Rembrandts or something like that. And then track 6, to close out side A World That Won't Turn to Me. To me, that sounds like Nick Lowe, not only in the style of music, but the vocals sound like Nick Lowe, who, was in Rock Pile, obviously has a massive solo career of his own. I really, really enjoyed this song, and the more I listened to it, I was like, yeah, that could be that could be a lost Nick Lowe song, and I'm a big Nick Lowe fan, so take that as a high compliment. On side B, track 2, called Looking at You, to me is the most tribute like to the Monkees. The guitar has kind of a twangy guitar, like Papa Jean's blues kind of guitar part to it. So it has that country element that Mike Nesmith would bring to the Monkees, but it's also got almost like a Mickey Dolenz type sound with the vocals. Also, there's the part of the melody sounds a lot like the song "The Dark of the Sun" by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers from their album "Into the Great Wide Open." It has a very Jeff Lynne type production with that. And again, people might take that because people are like, "Oh, Jeff Lynne, blah." I love it. So Jeff Lynne, if he is associated with anything, to me, it's always good. Side B, track 3, which is called "What Happened." To me, this has like the kind of the most psychedelic kind of sound. It's got a very Byrds, Roger McGuinn solo. I was actually, the day of filming this, was listening to this album and was also listening to Fifth Dimension by the Byrds. And it very much could have fit on Fifth Dimension by the Byrds, you know, right next to songs like 8 Miles High and stuff like that. Tribal Gathering. Just it could have fit on Fifth Dimension by the Byrds. And then the last song that I kind of picked is track 4 on side B, which is called "Why Should I Care." That has a very like Mersey beat, you know, sound to it, very Jerry and the Pacemakers or Herman's Hermits or something like that, which I love that sound. I love that type of 60s pop. You know, you've got the jangle pop of the 60s with, you know, the Byrds and stuff, the Laurel Canyon, but that Mersey beat stuff that, you know, was coming out of England, I have a soft spot for. I love that stuff, and the Numbers really did a great job with it. So what I'm going to do is I've got a link to this album below. If you want to check it out, please do. Guys, I really appreciate you reaching back out to me and saying that you would give me a shot on this review. I really do appreciate it. So that does it for me, everybody. Check out the Numbers. Like I said, I'll have their information below, and you can order the record for yourself. So be good, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Bye now.